Reporting to you live from Pacific High School. I'm Jasmine.
I'm Cielo.
I'm Nani.
And today's topic is, do you have the ability to protect your information?
Well, our local news has said that Apple vows to resist the FBI demand to crack an iPhone linked to the San Bernardino attacks. Apple Chief Executive Tom Cook posted on the company's website stating, "We have great respect for the professionals at the FBI, and we believe their intentions are good. Up to this point, we have done everything that is both within our power and within the law to help them. But now the U.S. government has asked us for something we simply do not have, and we simply consider too dangerous to create. They have asked us to build a backdoor to the iPhone."
Well, this relates to past cases questioning the Fourth Amendment rights, like Cass versus United States,
Riley versus California,
And Carpenter versus the U.S.
Cass versus United States. This was an appeal to the United States Supreme Court where the FBI placed a recording device outside a telephone booth to record the defendant transmitting wagering information to Miami and Boston. The defendant appealed the conviction because the recordings were obtained in violation to the Fourth Amendment. The Court of Appeals rejected it because the FBI agents did not physically enter the telephone booth to place the recording device. The question was if the evidence obtained was in violation to the Fourth Amendment. The Supreme Court reversed the defendant's conviction as he was entitled to assume that after shutting the door and paying full toll, that his conversation would not be broadcasted to
Riley versus California. Riley was pulled over on a routine traffic stop. The officers found out he was driving with a suspended license. The car was impounded and also found 2 loaded firearms in the hood. When Riley was arrested, the officer went through Riley's cell phone and seen photos that affiliated him with the gang. They also discovered photos of a red vehicle that was seen in a recent shooting and also connected the guns to the same shooting. The use of the evidence against Riley was unlawful under the Fourth Amendment due to not having a warrant because digital data in a cell phone cannot itself be used as a weapon to harm an arresting officer.
Carpenter versus the U.S. There were a sequence of robberies in Metro Detroit, Michigan, and North Ohio. The police arrested some people, one of whom gave the police Carpenter's number. When they requested the records from T-Mobile and Metro PCS, it revealed that Carpenter was in proximity to all the banks at the time they were robbed. On these bases, he was convicted. Carpenter challenged the police accusation by saying that the evidence of those location records were a violation of the Fourth Amendment. The Supreme Court held that if you disclose certain data or info to a third party like your bank or phone company, these things are no longer protected by the Fourth Amendment. The Stored Communications Act of 1986 allows the phone companies to disclose records if there are reasonable grounds to believe it is relevant on an ongoing investigation. However, Carpenter argued that his privacy was still his no matter who he gave it to. So Jasmine, how do you think this affects our life today?
Well, something good about it is that it can help prevent terrorist attacks, like if we research or we're able to extract information from devices that can help us prevent future attacks, it'll be safer for our citizens.
Another way is help citizens protect privacy rights. Like if an officer stops someone, they need a search warrant in order to go through someone's phone.
Mm-hmm.
Citizens can also be saved from unfair arrests that occur without a warrant. So officers actually need a warrant to go look for someone and arrest them.
Yeah. How do you think it's unfair? Like, what are some cons?
That they can, there's uncontrollable tracking. Like they can go through your phone and see where you're at, what time, and what you're doing.
Without others knowing?
Yeah.
And then also not knowing who has access to your private information. So like pretty much
Companies
you don't
and
know.
stuff?
Yeah, like phone companies, how they could turn on your phone and turn it off without you knowing. So you're not really sure who has your privacy information.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not knowing how much privacy you really have. Because once you step outside of your home, basically your privacy is all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're out in the public.
Yeah.
I see how that.
And that concludes our news report about the Fourth Amendment. See you next time, Pirates.